Hi there, everyone. I'm CCB Dolan here with CCB Fozzie, bringing you Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters in red versus Expendables in blue. Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters have banned out the Vindicator and the Tengu. Expendables have banned out the Scimitar and the Macarial.
And we have golems.
The breakout ship of the New Eden Open.
So we have a golem team here from the Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters. If I can just find exactly where the...
Find some launchers. Where are the launchers on the golem?
The one thing we don't know is where the launcher position is.
Another popular ship on Tranquility that doesn't typically show up.
The Oracle.
Oh, no, I was thinking about the Drake.
The Drake? Yes, yes. Again, haven't seen it a ton, but...
Yeah, so... And then for Expendables, we have Claymore boosting, Hugin providing long-range webs, and Kite Oracles. So they really don't want to get kited. They really just want to kite Goggle-wearing to the ends of the Earth.
Now, that being said, the Goggle-wearing team has brought cruise missile golems again. So this is a cruise... I said that no one would have expected it, but I'm wrong because obviously this has to be a team they've practiced before. So obviously the Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters had a cruise golem set up ready to go as well. This kind of setup we have from Expendables, the Oracles with the Claymore and the Hugin, these carries, is really good against a lot of things. I don't think it's going to be so good against cruise missile golems.
And keep in mind, this is two teams now who has cruise missile golems in their setup. We saw cruise missile golems from Asina Thomas' team. Now, Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters showing that they have them as well.
So the weakness of these golems is definitely their sensor strength. They can jam easily. They do, however, have really good lock range, so they're really good against these carries and the damps.
Yes, wonderful.
So they are. This is an excellent.
And look at the first Oracle melting. Pandy about to drop one more round of missiles.
You see all of those damps spread across the Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters team, but the golems still have locks. And
that's
the
nearly
Daredevil
half of
following in the second
damage.
tier. Yeah, that Daredevil's going to go down. He's webbed. Yeah, this is not... And the Hugin, too, taking a ton of damage painted. So these golems have bonuses to their missile damage. They also have bonuses to target painters, which helps you hit small targets well. So when you see the target painter icon appear beside someone on the Expendables team, that's when you know that guy is about to be in a lot of pain. As we had the close-up there of the Hugin taking fire.
Absolutely. And you know what? This really makes sense with the bans that Expendables put out. Expendables banned Scimitar and Macarial, saying, we don't want fast, we don't want a really strong long-range team fighting us either. And they brought the longest range team you can bring, really. But that's not a Tengu, which was already banned.
Yeah.
The cruise golems.
And
this is wonderful.
Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters banning out the Vindy. Because if they came up against that Shield Vindy team, this team would have had no chance. This Golem team would not have been able to handle
it. Would have melted.
But
they're playing it directly against the other team. These are not generalized setups. These are focus bans, focus teams. It's wonderful. Oh,
so we see a Merlin down now for the Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters. Not a whole lot of fire coming. It looks like the Expendables have gotten enough range to damp out the golems. Oh no, the golem, we see him. I see. No, he was target painting for a second there. Oh, they're firing again. Those golems have locks. And something's about to be in a lot of pain. And that's an Oracle.
There's the Oracle. Wow.
Go all the way through shields very quickly.
So these are almost certainly speed Oracles. These are not going to have really strong tanks on them. We've seen tanky Oracles earlier.
No, they don't have a lot of tank. They are... I'm not seeing a shield hardener on them, so they may have some kind of armor tank, but I doubt it's going to be too strong, considering the speed they're going.
Yeah. So... the damage from these cruise golems takes a while to show up. And those cruises missiles that have to fly all the way across.
There you go. That Oracle's taking the damage, and
eventually they just slam right into someone.
Yeah. This is again, I never would have expected cruise golems to become the standout ship of the final day of the New Eden Open, but so far that is the case. And at this point, the Goggle-wearing Internet Crime Fighters are definitely in the driver's seat of the match. I actually
kind of feel a little bad in that I flew a lot of Raven hulls back when I was a player on Tranquility. Didn't fit cruises on them at all, ever.
Yeah.
So I don't really know the range and that sort of stuff.
If you look at the control bar here for the Expendables, you can see how powerful that Hugin and the carries are.
Yeah.
So we're seeing a ton of damps, we're seeing long-range webs, but they're not able to get far enough away from these golems. Golems with the long lock range, with the long range firing too. it's just not enough. So that Oracle did pull enough range to get out. So they are managing to sit on the edge. However, the problem is these golems are heading towards the edge of the arena.
Yes.
Eventually they're going to run out of space.
They're
and
like,
the bubble around these golems is huge.
They're wonderful bulldozers. They just sort of walk
Yes.
across the arena and shrink the space that you can maneuver smaller and smaller and smaller.
And the golems aren't going fast.
Yes.
They're webbed right down. Well,
Just like a bulldozer.
Yeah.
And the Hugin here is the key of this team. It's to keep the stuff that's fast away, but when it doesn't matter how slow you are.
And there goes a carries. That's some damps gone, and that's not going to be good on their part.
That's wonderful.
Yeah, I definitely have to be in favor of the Goggle Arena Crime Fighters here. They've lost another Harpy there, but every time a carries goes down, that's like half of their damp, and you can see how much the control bar dropped.
Yep, absolutely.
So what
They
do you
are
think
doing
about
okay in terms of frigates, but
it's just not going to be enough, I think. These
Yeah.
golems are going to be impossible to break with what they've got left.
absolutely. The Drake and the Golems, super strong tanks. The Basilisk, really strong tank for logistics as well.
Yeah, it's just going to be too much for them to actually be able to handle.
And they
what do
all
you
of
think
those ships
by
minus
way,
the
as
Drake have ASBs.
We're looking at the Drake there. What do you think of the Drake for this setup?
I kind of like the Drake. So the Drake, with heavy missiles as they currently are really going to be able to handle a strong assault frigate force. If that was to come in, your Merlins would get eaten up. Your Golems can sort of hit them a little bit. They hit them better than Torp Golems, but not nearly good enough. And that Drake has the tank to last and can still do pretty solid damage to them.
It's some good long range damage, like not a lot of damage, but the damage is flexible, long range. You can choose its damage types if it needs to. It can do a lot of cool things with that. It also provides something very crucial in the ganglank.
Yes.
At a relatively low points cost, you're getting a ganglank in there. You need the shield ganglank to be able to keep this whole cap thing going. By the way, we're actually seeing something similar, we haven't mentioned, to what we saw from Ronin last match, in that this Basilisk is taking cap transfers from the Golems. So they do have a cap transfer chain going between the Basilisk and the two Golems. That's going to allow them to power the ASBs on all three ships indefinitely. Again,
it's the best of both worlds. Thank God you're nerfing them.
Extremely tough to break. And that's actually, this kind of setup, one of the reasons that the cap use for,
and look at them just
ASBs
eating through that Claymore. The Claymore, the strongest tank on that team.
out, and it just drops right down. So none of the ships in the Expendables are going to have very high tanks, but yeah, definitely the Claymore being the one among them that has the strongest.
And do you know what this means?
This means that we're tied up all around.
Tied up in both the first and second and third and fourth place matches. These teams are so good. All four teams are so amazingly good. It makes me so happy.
We're not going to see any sweeps. It's great.
Yeah.
So at this point, it's just a matter of time. These Golems have locks again.
Dropping like a rock.
Yeah, the Hugin's going to try to get range again, I think. He's right out at the edge, but it's not going to be enough. The Goggle Arena Cry Fighters with a big comeback. Again, so do you think that these kind of tinker cap transfer and high tank setups are going to be something we'll see coming from other teams? Do you think that Expendables and Asina Thomas are going to be bringing them out as well? And Asina Thomas has never brought a Logi, but this might be the time
Ronan
to do
and the
it.
Pixies already brought it out. I want to see if Asina Thomas has an entirely hidden setup where they start bringing out logistics and go in an entirely different direction with their team. These tinker setups are really strong a lot for mainly the reasons that you're being able to ban. So the ships that you're really worried about, you can ban them out. And you can sort of force the other person to focus on what you want them to focus on to a certain extent. And then you already have this breadth of information of their previous matches, so you know what they're good at, what they like to do the most.
Yeah.
And we have one Merlin left for Expendables. I love the way that I'll be honest, I was a little concerned that these series were going to be all sweeps.
No danger of that now.
No danger of that now. This is so amazing. As
that last Merlin's going down, they're chatting local to each other. That was a damn-tastic battle. Everyone saying good fight, hi to each other, and these are all pilots that have flown against each other and sometimes with each other before. They know each other well. And
that last Merlin was actually a boundary violation, a sacrifice to CCP Shrieks, perhaps giving them luck in their next match. So tying it up, 1-1, Goggle wearing Inner Crime Fighters and Expendables, going to match 3, the final match of the third, fourth place series, and we'll see you back in the studio in just a couple seconds.